hightailed it out of there.
Are you crazy? Don't go between them! Go between them! Are you crazy?
Welcome to my home.
Good morning. Another glorious Saturday morning. I'm having a rough one already. So Wednesday and Thursday, Wednesday night in the middle of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning, our power went out. And then it went out until like 8 or 9 o'clock. My wife went to work. We were up. And then it went out again. And so in the course of 2 days, our power went out 5 times. And we live in military housing. There's not much you can do, and it's an older complex. And I always wondered if, like, it was built in the, I don't know when it was built, but there's several places that have asbestos and stuff. So it was built a while ago. And I always wonder. I'm like, we have more things that draw power than they did in the 70s, at least. Like, if it just say it's that old. And so, like, I've always kind of said that. And then, like, they're like, no, I feel like our air conditioner's underpowered. It was never, it was always running, but it kept it kind of comfortable. And our air conditioner still 2 weeks, no air conditioner. It's like 100 degrees here. It's miserable. This room is ridiculously hot. So I don't know how long I'm going to do this stream for. I got a fan going. I got the other fan going. I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, already rough. And then they fixed it. They said they fixed it multiple times. They ended up replacing 2 transformers. The transformers kept blowing, and in the course of those five times that the power went out. And then last night, they decided to go directly in our backyard. And when we're sleeping, our windows there and everything. 1 o'clock in the morning, they got a backhoe because it was too hot to work during the day, and so they got a backhoe. They got 20 people out there. They're all talking. 1 o'clock in the morning. They didn't finish like digging up the stuff and digging up the ground until like 5 o'clock this morning. So I'm running on 1 hour of sleep because my wife woke up at 6 so she can go to her parents' house. So I had to pack up the car and do all that. And then as I'm trying to go back to bed, she couldn't figure out how to get the car charger for her battery and all her stuff to work. And so I'm exhausted. I'm hot. I'm miserable. I'm having a rough week. But I'm looking forward to it because my wife's going to be gone for the whole week, I guess, or weekend at least. And she's going up there. She's going to spend time with her family. She's also going to buy a new car because apparently where her parents live, it's cheaper. So we've had that conversation for quite a while. She's finally going to pull the trigger on something and come home with a new car. But in the middle of that, I have an entire, at least weekend, but I think like a week. I have to watch all these movies, and these are great movies that I love. Some are, fine, but some I was like, I just don't watch around my kid, at least, because they're inappropriate. But then there's other ones like they just don't like. But this pile I'm going to knock out. I'm super excited. So the very first thing here, I haven't seen it in quite a while, but I love this film. Every time I do watch it, my wife she doesn't really complain, but she rolls her eyes. She's on her phone. She's scrolling. It's not really enjoyable. So I'm going to be watching Zapped with Scott Baio and Willie Ames. I love this film. And as far as I understand, this Olive Films is the only Blu-ray. There might be some foreign releases, but I will be knocking this out for sure. And let's see. What do we got? Good morning. Good morning, TJ. Morning, brother. Oh, and speaking of TJ, so then I did get this. I did find this in that box after I was cleaning up this morning or yesterday morning. So I did find that, and I appreciate everything, brother. The box was amazing. And I would be watching Laserdiscs today, but it's all hooked up in this room. I am not going to be in this room. I did start watching Leon, but then it was the same thing. It started getting real hot. I had to leave. So I got to side B on the first disc. So I don't know if that second disc is going to have like special features and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to getting into all that. But yeah, no laser discs until I get the air conditioner. I might just take the laser disc player and just take it downstairs. But I have the Sega, the PlayStation 2, the DVD player, the VCR, the HD DVD player, all sitting on top of the laser disc player. So it's easier said than done. But yeah, so I'll be watching Zapped definitely this weekend. And then while I'm in my Olive Films, I pick up Yellowbeard. I've talked about this a bunch of times on the show. I love this movie. It's one I watched when I was a kid. It is inappropriate. It is hilarious. It is ridiculous. Um, Pretty much like the Monty Python crew is in this one. Also Cheech and Chong, but they're not playing their typical stoners. And yeah, I freaking love this movie. High recommend. It's not really a raunchy comedy. It's that British humor, and man, is it top notch. Now, I don't own. I think I have like Holy Grail and like one, maybe one of the other ones on VHS. But like this with that Monty Python crew, whew, hilarious. One of my favorites. So I'll be diving into that. And again, it's inappropriate for the kid, but I know I watched it when I was about 8 years old, and my wife, she makes a, yeah, she doesn't make a big deal, but she just grumbles through the whole entire. It's again, it's another one that's it's going to be enjoyable to watch by myself. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And then TJ, while you're here, you were talking about the because I'm going to watch Operation Petticoat. I love this film, one of my all-time favorites. But I have, and I double dipped on the Olive Films. I have the signature edition and the standard edition, and I wanted to show that off. So when you look at these, the with the slipcase, it's about the same size as the Blu-ray. But these slipcases, and I don't know if this was like, because the Olive Film stuff, like most people really didn't get into Olive Films until after they went out of business, and or if they did, they're just one or two random film. Like it's just like it was something that was never really talked about. Not like Kino Lorber or Arrow Video or any of the other boutique labels. And so Olive Films, if I recall, I don't remember anybody doing like the slip boxes and the big chunky boxes like early on. And so this is something that they did a slip box, but it's a pain to get out. It's real snug on these. Once you know, I put it in backwards so you can grab this part and just kind of pull it out. But these are really thin cases. So if you're going to start collecting for these, some of them I have seen for a higher price, but I thought for a boutique label doing something like a special edition like this, I thought they did a top-notch job. My only dilemma was the slip box was just real snug. It was kind of a pain to get out, and then because of that, they kind of get banged up a little bit more than some of the other ones. But I absolutely love that. So Operation Petticoat, one of my favorite comedies from that era. Tony Curtis, I don't think you go wrong. Cary Grant, but that's just a top-notch film. So I'll be watching that. And I don't think there's really anything different. Like, I mean, obviously, you're getting that. Like, but as far as like the transfer goes, but on the Olive Films, the signature edition, you're getting new. You're getting some auto commentary stuff, and you're getting some stuff that's not listed on here. And so I just don't remember if that stuff is on here. It's just not listed. But yeah, so I did double dip on that. Love that film. I'll be diving into True Romance for sure. And Darren G. Good morning from the UK. Well, good morning, brother. Good morning. I'll be diving into True Romance because this is one of my all-time favorite films. I love this. It easily makes my top 100 favorite films of all time. This is in my 25. I think I'm pretty sure this is in my top 25. Like I love this film, and so the chunky box was just a no-brainer in the 4K. Love this. So I'll be diving into this and since I've owned this, I've not checked out any of the special features. So because the wife's gone, I'm going to be literally like just facing the screen, all the commentary stuff, all the special features. I'm going to be diving into all that stuff that she normally rolls her eyes or complains about. And so I'll be doing that. Another one that I absolutely love, and this is it's a digital shot 4K, but it is extremely impressive. Like I have several newer modern films that were shot digitally on 4K, and they look great. But this movie, Crimson Peak, on 4K, I think is absolutely fantastic. A reference disc for sure. Absolutely love this. And this is another one that, in this big chunky box set, I was super excited to get it. I triple dipped on this film and I still haven't checked out any of the special features. So I'm looking forward to diving into that as well. And then I have this movie here. Now I've had it for quite a while. I just haven't watched it yet. And probably because it's really not like a family movie. And so I know it's not something my wife's going to get into. I'm pretty sure it's 70s cinema, which is, I like that. I like 70s cinema. I just really get into it. And it's Black Sunday. Now, this one here, it has come highly recommended by many people. It's an Imprint Films, and I love Imprint Films. You know that. But this one here does the slip box as well. And I just love how you have the different artwork always. So this is something that I don't know anything about it other than, obviously terrorism, and it looks like a sporting event. And so I'll be checking that out. Looking forward to that. But I've had it for, I don't know, maybe probably a year. I just know that I never get around to watching it because if I pop it in downstairs, like everyone's going to be bored or it's not appropriate. And then this is one I'm looking forward to because I'm going to marathon this, the Fly collection, all the Fly films. You got the originals, you got the new one. Yeah, super, super stoked. And then whatever special features there is. So you got Return of the Fly 2, or the newer one, the Fly and the Fly 2, but then you have Return of the Fly, and Curse of the Fly. So all these films, I don't have them in order apparently here, but I'll be diving into this because my kid hates this, my wife hates this, and um, I only tried watching the first one with Vincent Price where they did the head looked like a real fly. Absolutely not having it. Wife hated it, kid hated it. Not a fan. And the thing is, like, my daughter doesn't have nightmares, but my wife does. So, but she wasn't into it. So I'll be diving into that. Looking forward to it. I've seen them all before, but never done like the marathon thing. And since I've owned that box, I think I've only seen the first one and the Jeff Goldblum one since I've owned it. And then I'm on the Ray Harryhausen kick. So I have the Sinbad movies and It Came from Beneath the Sea and Terror from Outer Space. So all these I got from Indicator Films. This is a UK label. They do American Blu-rays where it's region A and it'll just work in your player. But then several of these films are region B only. So these ones here are all region free. All these ones here are region free, but I have several on that shelf over there from them that are region B locked, and so you'd need a region free player to get them. But I'm going to be diving into these. I love the artwork on Indicator Films, and this is another one that it comes up sometimes, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about them. They got all kinds of great things. So many films that just recently got upgraded to 4K. I decided to keep my Indicator Blu-ray because top notch, beautiful picture, and some of them were either a 2K scan or a 4K scan. So solid. What do we have? And TJ, Crimson Peak is an awesome atmosphere film. Oh, for sure, for sure. And I do like to watch that one in the fall, but it's a perfect opportunity. No one's around. I'll be able to pop it in. I'll be able to crank the surround sound. Nobody. And then we just got new neighbors over here on this wall, but downstairs where the surround sound is, neighbors moved out, house is empty, or the townhouse area is empty. So I'll be able to crank it up a little bit louder than I normally do. So I am looking forward to that. And then I don't have the wife complaining how loud it is. So yeah, gonna be a good week for movie watching for sure. Hate has no home here. Yes. Good morning, Ryan. Yes. All right. So yeah, so those are all the things that I'm super stoked about watching this weekend. There's definitely, I'm probably going to be able to watch a few more titles and different things, but I'm going to really focus on stuff that I have in my collection that I haven't watched at all, or things that I just know that I don't usually get to watch a lot because of, either not being a family movie or the family hating those movies. So that's going to be the real focus. But let me know what you guys are going to be watching this weekend. And today, normally we do like this is what's coming out, talking about all the new releases and the things that I'm excited for, and maybe the things I'm not excited for. And I decided to do something a little different today. I wanted to talk about like the boutique labels. We're going to go right to their websites. Hopefully, my internet and all this stays stable because I know sometimes when I try to bring up those screens, all of a sudden it crashes, blue screen, I freeze. It's a whole pain in the butt. But I'm going to try to bring those up and go to the websites directly instead of Blu-ray.com, see what new releases they might have, And it's just something that, especially with all the sales going on, everyone's talking about the Criterion sale, the Kino Lorber sale, MVD's having a sale. I'm sure other companies are having sales right now, which is great. But everyone's talking about that. And I was like, I could always throw my hat in the ring, but you don't need one other guy talking about how this is the greatest Kino Lorber film and you should probably own it. And good morning, Jeff. Good morning, brother. Good morning. So yeah, so I have that, and yeah, we're gonna start off with Shout because I just ordered something. It was during the so I did it through Amazon though, but because it was the best price because it was the during their Amazon Prime Day sale, and I'm going camping. I'm taking a camping trip in September, and so that has been a huge focus. And so like I've put a ton of money into more gear and more stuff. But I did manage to sneak in a really expensive Blu-ray set. It might be in 4K. I don't know. I think it's Blu-ray though. The Jackie Chan Shout Volume One. I think it was like $60. Where on Shout's site, I think it was like $90. So I was like, "Ah, that's a no-brainer." I slipped that in with my camping gear, so I'm looking forward to getting that. I got stuff coming from Vinegar Syndrome. Also looking forward to that. And thank you, TJ. TJ with all of his FOMO and always talking to me about stuff. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna pass. I'm not gonna do it. Sometimes it's just that FOMO. It's worth it. I totally think it's worth it. So I have. I'm not going to get down. I've got it down before, and it's up there, but it is the Steelbook box the Batman collection. So it's got the 4 Batman films. They're all Steelbooks. They're in the Steelbook case, and they're in foam dividers. Superman set came out like that, I think a couple years ago, and that's one I missed. So I got the Batman one, and I actually got one of the last ones through Best Buy. It was like their Black Friday sale, like because in the stores they were all banged up and dented up. So I just passed on them. And then they were having Black Friday sale. And then sure enough, I got mine banged up, dented up. So they probably just took it from the store floor and then mailed it out. And so the actual Steelbook movies are safe, but the outside Steelbook box is not. It's all banged up. And I've had it. And like that was I couldn't return it. They didn't have any more. It was out of stock. I could have got my money back, but I really wanted the films. I wanted the 4K films. I liked the aesthetic of that Steelbook box at the time, and I missed out on the Superman one. And that was I think about $130 when it came out. And then since then you can find them on eBay, crazy prices. But there is good news. If you missed out on that, September 2nd, Amazon is re-releasing that Superman Steelbook box with the Steelbook, the 4 films inside it, and I'll be picking that up 100%. The difference between the original one that I missed out on, and if you missed out on it as well, is it doesn't include all the extra paperwork that it came with, and the art cards, and the comic book, and all that. This is just a straight, solid, the Steelbook box with the 4 films inside. And so, if you just want the films, you just want this set. September 2nd was the date that I saw kicking around earlier this morning. So I'm super stoked about that. That is something I'm going to be getting. But then TJ had me in this FOMO thing. So about the Nightmare on Elm Street. So everyone's been talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. The artwork sucks, and all the controversy going on. Like, so somebody's like faking stuff, and then like some of the artwork sucks. But if you go to Fanac's website, the French site that's selling this, their artwork sucks, and they're asking 200 euros. And I was like, and I was going to get that one, but not anymore. It's because originally it was 169 euros when it was like to be determined and they were waiting on it. Now it's claiming to be 199 euros. It's showing that crappy artwork. And so like TJ sent me the picture of the Amazon one, and he's like, pre-orders are up. And I was like, damn you. So I pre-ordered it. And I've been really hard on the not pre-ordering stuff, but because I missed out on that Superman set, and this is that same kind of thing. It's a Steelbook box that holds the Steelbooks together. That's the thing I was going to hold off on. I was going to hold off on it and wait, but I was like, there's no way. This thing's going to sell out super fast. You're not going to be able to get it. And prices are going to be crazy on the internet. So I pre-ordered it. I got a thing. They said they'll email me when it's coming. Fanac's website says that it'll be released in September, just in time for Halloween, which really makes sense. But I do have the Amazon one on pre-order. And then just this morning, TJ sent me a picture. They are now unavailable for pre-order right now. So mine's locked in. I got my email. I got my confirmation. But Amazon, that is that is never set in stone because I have had stuff like that before and then I've had it canceled. So, ugh, I'm looking forward to it though. Looking forward to it. Let's see, what do we got? We're crushing season 2 of Tulsa King this weekend. Nice, nice. So I'm glad you liked the first season. I watched it when it first came out, and then I kind of like forgot about it. And then there was that big time gap, and then the second one came out, and so I wasn't gonna watch it. But then TJ was talking. He's like, I think I want to watch it, and I was like, you know what, Stallone's great. So I didn't rewatch the first season. I just dove right into the second season, and I binged it, and I watched all of them, and I love it. I mean, I think it's a great show. I mean, it's good enough. It's Stallone. It's they're selling weed. They're doing mob stuff and like Tulsa, Arizona, I guess. So it's like it's a fun show. It's definitely a fun show for sure. Let's see. And good morning, Arthur. Good morning, brother. Oh, and I oh, never mind. Train of thought went. I don't know what I was thinking. What we got? TJ says, all I did was let you know I cheated and pre-ordered. Yeah, that's all it was. I was like, it's that steelbook box. You let me know. It was over with. FOMO got me. I had to have it, and then I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I scored it because who knows what's going to happen with it. And it's one of those things that if you wait on it too long, you're probably not going to get it unless you want to pay a crazy price. And then with that one, if you zoom in on the black box that they have on their pre-order, if you zoom in on it, you can see the Freddy sweater in the corners. And I don't know if you're supposed to see that, but you can't see it unless you zoom in. And so, yeah, I'm stoked. If it's just a plain like sweater box and it says Nightmare on Elm Street, and then it's cool. But the one thing I want, and yeah, I'm not gonna get it down, but right there, you got Freddy on the spine, and you had it on the VHS, which also have one coming from eBay. So I did finally get that VHS box set um, that's got all the films, and then Freddy is on the spines of the film, and then together it makes Freddy. And so if they don't do that for this set, they completely missed the mark. Like they did it for the DVDs. I know that whole Blu-ray set was like super duper cheap. I skipped it. I just had the first Nightmare on Elm Street on Blu-ray. I didn't get the rest of them. I was happy with my DVD set, and the same. It was going to be the same with this. Like if people say that some of us are package collectors and all we care about is the cardboard and the package, we're movie collectors. And so there is a point where the movie is the most important thing. But for me, it has never been about the format. It's been about the movie. And so I have that DVD box set. I have all those films. The first one I think is the very best. I like the other ones, but I'm happy with them being on DVD. And to spend $200 on a 4K set, to have them all on 4K, when when you really look at them down the line, they get more cheesy, they get more ridiculous. They're not as good as the first one, and that's how I feel about most of these franchise films. And if you're not going to put it in like a solid, cool package, it's not worth collecting. It's not worth upgrading. It's not worth spending $200 on. And so I skipped out on that Walmart Blu-ray set. It was, and I don't think it was crazy priced, but it just was boring artwork, and it was all packaged. And I think some of the movies were on, two on one disc. It was definitely a smaller set for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Wait, let me finish what he said. So all I did was let you know I cheated and pre-ordered the Nightmare on Elm Street because I'm not chancing not getting this one. I applied no pressure to order. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You said, "Hey, look what I bought." All right. Let's see. And then good morning, Video Pro. Good morning, brother. I snagged one too, still waiting on Night of the Living Dead pre-order. That one I'm gonna hold off on. I was like, if I get it, I get it. I don't, I don't. I like the film, looking forward to it, but I don't need to pre-order. I think I'm good, but pretty solid. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, as we talk about that, so then the first thing, so I ordered it was the Prime Days, and so I've talked about how I needed more Hong Kong cinema in my life, and it was this. Hold on, let's see, where am I going? Shout Factory. Hopefully, I don't freeze on you. But as we go to Shout Factory, the I got the Jackie Chan set because I was just flipping through, and for months now I've just been like racking my brain. My wife, because I love my wife to death, but she is very indecisive, and so she's like, I want this car, and then for 2 months she has then looked at every single other car on the internet. Now, mind you, we're not test driving them. We live in an area where there's a ton of car dealerships, and we're not test driving them. We're just looking at them on the internet, which to me that's extremely frustrating. And then she's not like even bothering like going to YouTube and like just seeing what other people how other people might have reviewed the car, or just to see the inside, just like nothing. So I was like, so then I've spent that 2 months like with her on this journey of like going back and forth with the car. So I've focused on that recently, and then, like I said, we're planning this camping trip in September, and so then that's been pretty much my focus. And so then, out of the blue, I just it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was bored. I was tired of watching all that stuff. I was tired of car stuff. Definitely tired of the like looking at the camping gear. And I just turned on my homepage, and there was this. Video, and it was talking about how cool like 80s Hong Kong cinema was, and like it was like the pinnacle of action films, and you don't get stuff like that. We never got stuff like that here in America. And like obviously we would import the Hong Kong cinema, and that's why it has like a huge cult following because how cool it was. But every single clip the guy was talking about featured Jackie Chan. And I was like, I know I haven't seen any of these movies. And so I was going to get the Shaw Brothers box set. I was going to start trying to get some of those. But then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get the Jackie Chan set. So I got the Jackie Chan Shout Factory Volume 1. That's coming. And then I double checked that there was no crossover for Volume 2, and then the Criterion set. And so then at some point after my wife gets home, I'm going to do a trip over to Barnes and Nobles. I'll do the obligatory, let's see what's at Barnes and Noble Criterion sale. But my focus is to get, there's a couple of movies I want to get, but then specifically the Jackie Chan Criterion set there, because half off is a great deal on that. So yeah, I'm gonna get those, and then I'll eventually get the volume 3. So I'm really stoked about that. And it was, I think, lack of looking at a lot of the Blu-ray.com, spend a lot more time on Amazon and actually not coming over to the actual boutique Blu-ray label websites and seeing what they have to offer. You miss a lot of things. And so, I mean, I guess I formed my own bubble, talking to you guys, looking at Blu-ray.com, and then literally buying most of my stuff on Amazon. Which again, it's like one of those like, I hate Amazon, but it's so convenient, so convenient, and a lot of times it is cheaper. Let's see, share. Let's share this screen. So I did that, and then it's like it wants me to come back. Did I buy? Oh yeah, I'm not signed in. All right, what do we got? And then, good morning, Elsa. Good morning. I hope you had your coffee and breakfast. Yeah, well, see, you missed my whole rant this morning, how bad my week has been, and then the day, and I'm running an hour of sleep. So then my wife left this morning at 6 o'clock this morning. She's on the road going to her parents' house. And so then I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm not going to make breakfast. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to DoorDash, which I don't do that often, but I'm like, I'm by myself. I'm going to DoorDash. I'm going to get stuff. And I was like, where I'm from, where I am, like not where I'm from, but where I am right now. And there's I think a couple other states that it's kind of big, but Wawa is it's like this convenience store gas station. It's kind of like a big deal around here, but they actually have like good sandwiches and good like you can go in there and like press buttons on this computer, and then they make your food, and it's pretty good sandwiches. not too crazy expensive. And I woke up this morning and I wanted sausage egg McMuffins. And I was like, but I don't like McDonald's and I'm not making them. So I was like, I'm gonna hit up the Wawa, I'm gonna hit up the DoorDash, I'm gonna have it delivered. And then that way I'd be able to, do all my morning stuff, get my breakfast, do the live stream, good to go. Well, I ordered 2 croissant egg McMuffin sandwiches with sausage, and then I ordered like a breakfast burrito. And I was super stoked about all of this. The lady hands me my stuff. She leaves. I drive away. I open it. It is a cold uh, chicken quesadilla with beans and corn on it, and a cold meatball sub. And so I don't know if this was somebody's lunch for later this afternoon and they just wanted it cold because they were just going to stick it in the freezer and refrigerator anyway. And so then that's what I had. And then I went to go text the lady, like, hey, you got the wrong order kind of thing. And then, like, it wouldn't let me do it because she'd already delivered it. And so then I was just like, this. And so I could just tell DoorDash that it was the wrong order and then they can partially refund me or whatever they were going to do. And I'm like, so I was like, I'm starving. So I scarfed down this disgustingly cold. I didn't even bother putting it in the microwave. I was just mad. And so I eat this like corn and beans and chicken quesadilla that was falling apart. I was just pissed, and I threw the meatball sub, and I was mad. I threw it in the fridge. I'm probably not even gonna eat it, but because I don't really, I like homemade meatballs that I make myself, and so like eating out, I'm just like so yeah, quite pissed about the breakfast, quite pissed. But coffee, yes, coffee, yes. Did you fix your AC? No. So the maintenance people gave us this portable AC unit that's downstairs in the living room. So the living room is cool. It's not perfect, but it's cool. But the rest, like this room is hot as hell. So now we're going on 2 weeks, no AC. And then just last night in this like for this area, there was a commercial for this like 24/7, your AC breaks and we'll fix it. And I'm like, because like now because we live in military housing, and so the maintenance people have now passed it on to like a professional AC person, and we're supposed to get a new unit, and that's the thing. And so now we've been without AC for 2 weeks. This room is horrible. And it's yeah, the whole rest of the house is horrible. It's horrible to sleep. We got like multiple fans going. It's just I'm just fed up with it, fed up with living here. So can't wait to get out of here, go to Colorado. At least it won't be so hot. But then Arthur says the Wawa is real. I thought it was made up a store on Sunny in Philadelphia. No, Wawa's a thing, but I didn't learn about it until I joined the Navy and I moved down to Virginia. But it's like big in Pennsylvania. It's big here. And then yeah, people talk about it almost like it's like an urban legend, and it's like it's just a gas station convenience store, but the sandwiches are good. Metal Man 777. Yes, I finally make it to your morning show. Nice, nice. Good morning, brother. I'm new to your channel and I've enjoyed all your videos so far. Keep up the good work, bud. Yes. Well, I do have more stuff. I've been feeling a million times better. And so like I got sick back in like February, March, and then the thing I had like takes a long time to get out of your body. And so like I was like dead. And it was horrible. Like my I was in pain, my back hurt, like the whole thing. And then like I haven't really talked about it, like, but I never really got over it until like now. Like I'm actually feeling like 100% now. And then my air conditioner went out. And so like the want to sit in this room and try to make videos is horrible. Like I'm like dying, I'm sweated. Like it's nothing nobody wants to see or be around. So but yeah, so I'll be knocking out more videos sooner than hopefully soon with that air conditioner film. But I feel so much better, and that was why I wasn't making as many videos before. Is I was in pain to sit in this chair. Absolutely, it was horrible. And then I didn't want to talk about it because every time I talked about it, people were like, you go to the doctor, you do that, and I'm like, thank you for all of your support and telling me to go to the doctor, but I'm not a doctor guy. And the thing I had, and I'm not going to go into detail about it, but the thing I had in the very beginning, apparently there's like a slight chance of death and or brain rot. And I I didn't have those things. I didn't have those things. Those are like super rare, but also a possibility. And so because I didn't have those things, uh, then I just never went to the doctor. And like I talked to the doctors, and they just said let it run its course. And apparently it takes months. But yeah, no more pain. I feel great. Yeah, so videos and all that stuff coming soon. Coming soon. But yeah, appreciate you being here. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna knock out this. So yeah, today we're talking about the boutique Blu-ray labels, the things that I'm excited for, stuff that I might have missed, and it's from literally the lack of going to the actual website because most of the time I am finding it cheaper on Amazon, and it's that convenient thing. So we're gonna share the screen. So we have. Here we go. New releases. What do they got for new releases on Shout Factory? So they have the Seven Brothers Shaw bundle for $1,000, $1,009.92. That's a lot of money. But that was the thing. I was thinking about grabbing one or two of these box sets, but then I happened to just see that Jackie Chan like montage. And so then I was like, I'm going after the Jackie Chan stuff. I have some Shaw Brothers stuff, but I was going to start grabbing some of these boxes because the Shaw scope I think I'm pretty much SOL on that one because I never got it in the beginning, and so that first one is I'm pretty sure is expensive on eBay. I can't find it, but these ones are available, and I would definitely grab them. You know, all of them, volume 1 through 7. I don't think I'm going to drop $1,000 on them all at once, but it's a possibility, and they do that shop pay from $91 a month to grab those. Um, so that's something that they're offering. But then they have Ghost in the Shell. This looks pretty sweet. What is this? Oh, this is the TV show there. There we go. Yeah, 71.99 on sale. Yeah, that's not for me. I like the Ghost in the Shell movies. I was into that. I have both of them. I have the anime, and then I have the live action with Scarlett Johansson. I like both of them. The anime is amazing though, and I'm not a big anime guy. Here we go. The Sonny Chiba 4 film bundle. This is something I think I might have to pick up just because, you know, my love for true romance, and there's that whole bit about the Sonny Chiba films. And so there's a curiosity there. I don't know if I'm $225 invested into the 4 films there. But at least the Street Fighter collection, that's the one that's been on my radar for a very long time. So I might have to check that out at some point. Just specifically the Street Fighter set. I don't know about the other ones there. And then nothing real. Like I don't think anything's like super new, but this is under their new releases. This one, Salvador. I'm pretty sure this is a newer release. Yeah, this one came out, or this one ships September 2025. Now I saw the trailer for this, and it's based on a true story. It's just a heavy film. I don't think I need it. I'm sure it's an amazing, powerful film, but from what it seemed like, you know, reporters, they go into like third world country type stuff, and yeah, I don't think that's for me. I think it's just a heavy film. But from 1978, best winning screenplay based on material from another medium. Um, you're getting a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative, new interviews from Oliver Stone, James Woods, John Savage. So yeah, it's really awesome when you can get all of the people that were involved in making the film in the new interviews. So that is awesome for bonus features. But like I said, like after that trailer, I mean, I think it would be just a one and done at least for me. But I don't think I'm going to be picking that up. But that's a new one for sure. And this Chucky film bundle. I have Bride of Chucky, and I have the original Chucky. I have those on 4K. Um, I would like to get a nice big box set in the 4Ks. I did not pick up the Arrow video there, but in these types of films, like I don't love them all the same. I think the first one, Bride of Chucky, are my absolute favorites. Seed of Chucky, I thought was pretty good. So like I really would, and I don't care for any of the new Child's Play stuff. I tried watching it, it wasn't for me. Oh, and speaking of that, so here's an interesting thing. And I was like, I let's see, hold on. Here's an interesting thing. So I feel that I give things, a fair shot, right? So like I tend to say like, if you like it, cool, or like whatever. I don't just crap on stuff to crap on stuff, but I talk all the time how I'm not a big fan of like a lot of the modern cinema, but then I break it down and I explain why. It's not like I'm just crapping on stuff or I'm making like hate videos to make hate videos. But in general, like if obviously we're never gonna agree on all the films, and I will never apologize. I do not like The Lion King, and I'm never apologizing for that. But I talked about the what was it, the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai came up, and there was that big expensive box set that was coming, and I was explaining why I was going to pass on it. And I'm happy with my current 4K box set of the original trilogy, and then I have the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank on VHS, and I've never bothered to try to upgrade that to DVD or Blu-ray. The VHS is fine. I think we watch that every 5 to 10 years. And so it's like one of those things where, and then I explained it, and I explained why I didn't like the TV show, and my feelings on it and stuff. And then somebody literally had the gall to tell me to basically, if I don't like something, to not talk about it. I have no right to talk about something that I don't like. And then he was like, if you don't like it, fine, but it doesn't do anything for the fans. Well, one, it's the Cobra Kai show is over with. The fans are there. There's been a million videos on people that hate it and people that love it, and I never got on that bandwagon. I just, if the conversation comes up, I talk about it. But it's that attitude of like, praise it or shut up. And I've dealt with this before. I dealt with this with Indiana Jones 5, because God, I don't know that anybody that really likes that film. I'm sure there might be some people, so because you like what you like, and you can't sometimes you can't explain why you like it. But I broke down at the time. I broke down Indiana Jones 5, why I didn't like it, explained it, and I did not go into like stuff like Critical Drinker does, or some of the other people that like really hammer home like all the woke stuff or whatever. I literally just explained why I didn't like it, my reasons why, before the film even came out. Like, I understood that I wasn't going to like it because how Steven Spielberg left the film, and then after he left the film, everybody else involved was at ease because they could just basically do whatever they wanted now, because Steven Spielberg was like a hindrance. He was constantly saying that's not how Indiana Jones works, and they were just wanting to do their own thing. And then once he departed the project, there was a whole article on how happy they all were because now they could just do whatever they wanted. And I was like, oh, it's going to be great. And so it was that same kind of conversation. It was praise it or shut up. And that's a weird thing. And I was like, we're all critics. You watch something, you enjoy something, you can be critical of it. You like it, you don't like it. That's very simple. But I'm an online critic. I talk about this stuff. I review movies, I give my opinion, and we're never gonna agree on everything. Like Videodrome, his favorite movie is Jaws. I like Jaws. I think Jaws is great. I just don't understand how it's your favorite. But like, you have that nostalgia. You have that like, so and so took you to see the movie. Like, there's reasons why people like what they like. And I will never take that away from anybody. Enjoy it. And so I see that. But that crazy mentality of praise it or shut up, it's wild to me. And so, like, yeah, I had that comment out of the blue. He didn't tell me to shut up, but he said I had no right to talk about something I didn't like, and it doesn't do anybody any justice. I was like, because I broke it down and you could see my point of view, is that why it didn't do anybody any justice? And that was my frustration. So yeah, that was my tangent there. Let's see. Let me get caught up with the chat here. Oh wow. Let's see. Is the move soon? October time, so soonish. Soonish. Adolfo Rivera. I was able to pre-order a Nightmare on Elm Street 4K collection steelbook, sold out at the moment. Nice. Well, I'm glad you were able to pre-order it. But yeah, it is sold out at the moment. And out of FOMO, I grabbed one too. So I went against my pre-order, but I did always say, like, if it was one of those things where you know it's going to sell out and you're going to buy it anyway, like I'm gonna do the pre-order, but I was going to definitely stop the crazy pre-ordering, and I pretty much spent like 2 months movie budget on like camping gear. And so that's something I mentioned that quite a few times at this live stream. So in September, I am going on a week long camping trip, and I wanted you guys to let me know what you want me to do, because I'm not going to be able to live stream because we'll be Saturday, say because we're going from like Monday, basically Monday to Monday. And so that there's that Saturday during the camping trip, I'm not going to be able to live stream. Even if for whatever reason I had internet, I'm only going to have my phone, and then I could just talk to you guys. But like I wouldn't be able to pull things up, and I don't know how like I could read the chat messages on the phone. I'm not sure how that works. But wasn't sure if you wanted me to have like a pre-planned, like basically a show like this, and then do it like a premiere. So then you guys still have something. You guys could still come to it like a premiere. I don't know if you know, but if I set up like a premiere video, it works like a live stream where you guys can still show up in the chat, talk to each other, and then I could actually be on my phone and I could be in the chat too, and I could talk to you that way. But it would just be me rambling for like an hour. So I could do that, or I could just skip it. So let me know. Let me know what you guys want me to do. But that'll be the first week of September. That's when we're doing the camping trip. So there's plenty of time. But let me know what you guys think is best, because I really would hate to miss a Saturday. So I think the premiere option is best. I'm just not sure exactly what I'm going to do. Let's see. What do we got? TJ says, during Thanksgiving time, Wawa has a sandwich called the Gobbler. It's basically Thanksgiving on the side. Yeah, I've seen those billboards every single. I refuse to eat it. I refuse to eat it. I like the macaroni and cheese that they make sometimes, and then like the breakfast sandwiches. I think they're pretty solid. And then the chicken. There's a chicken sandwich that's pretty good. With chicken's like a chicken tender sandwich. It's pretty good. But my wife is a huge fan of the Wawa sandwiches. But yeah, that Thanksgiving one, I they put cranberry sauce. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Like I'm all in on like the turkey. Even if you want to throw on some mashed potatoes, the turkey, the gravy, like sure, yeah, I'm following your story. But once you throw the cranberry sauce in there too, I'm like I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm in Cali, and now I'll make a point to visit a Wawa while traveling. Yes. I don't know exactly where they are, but it feels like it's just like an East Coast thing, like here in Pennsylvania. Because like I've driven, like, because I'm from upstate New York, so when I was in the Navy and I used to drive home, uh, I would see them all the time. And then once I left Pennsylvania, like I just don't recall seeing them anymore. And then the same thing going south to Florida. Maybe they got them in Florida. I don't know, but like, yeah, it just seems like a little bit of an East Coast thing. But yeah, it's like a definitely, it's almost like a tourist attraction. You got to stop. Did you grab the Superman 4K Steelbook pre-order? It already sold out. Face red, droopy eyes. Oh no, I was just talking about that, and like I tried, I didn't see it. I didn't see it available. I saw the thing, and so I want it. Definitely want it, and I because I missed the first one. I missed the first one all around, and so that was one of the first things I talked about this morning, because I do have the Batman Steelbook case. It's built the same way, and so I missed the Superman one, and I was stoked about this, the re-release, and the price would be great. But yeah, I saw it on Twitter, and I thought it's coming out. I think August 2nd is what they said on Twitter, and I just thought the pre-orders weren't available yet. So yeah, that's sad. So no, I missed out on it. Man, wait, just, wait, oh man, I'm having a rough day already. No air conditioner, hour of sleep. Ah, no Superman. I gotta try to get that. I gotta try to get that. I just don't want to overpay for it. Quietly Games. Good morning, 80s. Good morning, brother. I only picked up Wolfman 2025 4K from Prime Day sale. Picked up a Violent Nature 4K Steelbook from Amazon. Nice pickups. I personally did not like that Wolfman one. I think the girl that plays the wife there, I don't know. There's something about her. I feel like I don't dislike her, but I don't feel like she's like a lead role. Like I don't know. I don't think she's a bad actress. I just feel like, you're watching a horror movie and she's the teller, or she's the cashier at the gas station, the creepy gas station. Like I feel like that. So I was like, I don't know. That kind of threw me off. But I was not a huge fan of that Wolfman one. I gave it a whirl. I gave it a try, but I know that it has a lot of fans. So I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you picked it up, and enjoy that. Enjoy that. The only thing I picked up during those Prime Day sales, and like I said, I picked up a ton of camping gear, like a ton of stuff. And but then I slipped in that Shout Factory Volume One Jackie Chan set, so I did pick that up. Let's see what I miss. What the CHH didn't like the Steelbook? I don't know. I'm a fan. I just like the aesthetics of it. And I'm not the Steelbook guy, but I had the Batman one. I always wanted that Superman one, and I am going to get the Nightmare on Elm Street. I already got that on pre-order, so I'm stoked. It has been near 100 in Denver the last few weeks. Oh wow, wow. Yeah, it's like 100 here, 100 here. But yeah, that's I don't know. Like the thing is, like I'm from upstate New York, and we had 100 degree days and stuff. And like I remember my mom always used to say it was like hot enough to fry an egg outside. And I was like, "Well, do it," But so I just I mean, there were some hot days, but like down here, it's miserable. And then we live in the military housing, and so like the way they have it set up, it's townhouses, and so there's no like windows on either side, but you have some windows on this side of the house. And the way it's set up, like if I open up the windows, there's no real cross breeze, but then you get all the noise pollution, and so it's air conditioner or bust. And so I'm sitting in the house dying, and then what was it? A few nights ago, it was actually colder outside at night than it was in the house. The house was like 100 degrees, and the outside was like 70. And again, opening the windows, that you don't get the breeze the way it's set up. But yeah, Denver. Yeah, so I just almost feel like 100 degrees, like back home and where I'm from. Like I don't remember it ever being that bad. I remember being miserable and wanting to sit in front of the fan, but like we didn't get air conditioning until like I graduated high school. And so like I just remember, just doing stuff outside. There's different ways, but we could open the windows and get the breeze. Like that stuff helped, I guess. Same. I don't care to own Karate Kid. Yeah, I have the original trilogy. I do, and they're as far as like all of my childhood nostalgia films, I like them. I think they're fine, but like they sit lower on the list. Like if I were to come up here and I'm just feeling like I need to watch like a childhood favorite, I'm grabbing Indiana Jones, I'm grabbing Back to the Future, Never Ending Story. I'm grabbing some of those, and then eventually, I'll watch Willow. Like I'll go through my entire list, and then I'll watch Karate Kid last. Um, and it's fine. It's definitely, it's just, but yeah, I don't need that big giant crazy box set. The Cobra Kai. I didn't even finish watching the show, but that first movie is still pretty solid. I always root for William Zabka. I think he's great. He's great. He's also great in the Vacation movie. Plays the jerk boyfriend. Let's see. Premieres are fun. Yeah, so that's probably what I'll do, unless you guys just say skip it. Then I'll just like whatever. But yeah, I'll make like an hour long premiere, and then that way, if I have internet out there in the middle of the woods, then I could be in the chat. But if I don't, that's why I'm not there. Go live while camping. Tell campfire stories like you are afraid of the dark. Yeah, I mean that's a possibility, but I'm like that's also taking an hour away from the family time and the camping, so it's possible. But I'm super stoked because like the gear I got, and I'm gonna make a couple videos because I got camping gear specifically for my favorite thing, watching movies. So while camping, we're watching movies. I have this whole thing planned, and I got great deals on all my stuff. So I'm extra stoked about that. But yeah, we'll be setting up, and then while I'm there, I'll record something. So I'll show it off and record that. I'll put the whole video together. But yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I don't think camping without like I went to my anytime I leave this house and I go on any kind of road trip and we go, especially if we go to my in-laws or any of my wife's relatives' house, I'm bringing my portable DVD player, my iPad, and so I have movies. And I'll bring like 10 or 20 DVDs, throw them in my backpack, and I'm sitting there like once the family gets annoying, because it's her family, it's not mine. And once they get annoying, I'm like headphones on, movie, I'm good to go because they don't watch anything I like to watch. And my father-in-law is a huge sports guy. So like I can't tell you how many times before I start bringing my DVD player that I'm sitting there on the sofa, we're having a good conversation, and then all of a sudden, like whatever movie we were watching on TV is over. Then all of a sudden, we're watching 5 hours of golf, and I'm like, that's not for me. I'm bringing the portable DVD player from now on. Yeah, so yeah, camping with movies. So it's going to be a thing. Frailty delivered yesterday. Nice, and that was my blind buy of eh, that, and my blind buy of Sorcerer will be my weekend views. Nice, nice. Enjoy those. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Sorcerer until Brian made his video saying that he was bored to death. So, I mean, that's totally fine. I've never seen Sorcerer. But like it's come up quite a bit. It's been recommended to me probably 6 or 7 times now, and I've been holding off. So I'm gonna grab that one because, like I said, when my wife gets back after this trip sometime next week, I do plan on going to Barnes and Noble, and so Sorcerer is one I wanted to grab. Lost Highway, I think that's the one I was going to get. Lost Highway, and then the Jackie Chan stuff. So I was looking for those three solid films for sure. Um, yeah, high on my list. High on my list. Let me know. Yeah, definitely message me about Sorcerer when you're done watching it. Let me know what you think. And Prime Day had Scooby Doo Complete Series Blu-ray for 15 bucks. Nice. That's a solid pickup for sure. Um, one of my well, she was my youngest until my youngest now, but so like one of my daughters, she's older now. When she was young, she was super, super into Scooby Doo. And then so there's all this like leftover Scooby Doo stuff, especially DVDs from her. And my youngest daughter could care less. And so I did not pick that up. You pick up Cobra 4K yet? No, I need to. I need to get on that. But TJ did just send me the Cobra laser disc, so I'll be diving into that very soon. But yeah, that 4K. Maybe I'll pick it up. Maybe I'll do it right now. Maybe I'll do it right now. That way. Let's see. While I'm here, because it's easy. Where was it? Can I get it on Amazon? Nah, I'm in Amazon Japan right now. Hold on. Let me get out of here. Let's see. Let's see. Cobra Cobra 4K. All right. That's ordered. It's 31.99 on Amazon right now. I don't know if that's a great deal or not, but it seems like a better deal than the $49 that they have it listed at. So, yeah, Cobra on 4K. I just ordered it. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Oh, that. So let's go back to Shout. So Shout has a lot of this stuff, but then I picked up and I do want to grab this, but I just spent like an ungodly amount of money on camping, and I like camping, but it was never my thing because I always joke and I say I'm an indoor cat. I like to, as a kid, I didn't play outside. I've always been a movie guy, a movie kid. I'd rather rent a movie and watch it. I never really liked playing outside. And now I did once in a blue moon, especially if we went to somebody else's house, and that's kind of what they did. But I would rather just be inside watching a movie. But I kind of always liked camping. And then when I first got together with my wife, when we first started dating, we went twice, and then we went on a bunch of deployments, and then I got out of the Navy, and then we got married, and then she got pregnant, and then like she was on deployment. Like it turned into a whole thing. It was just like kind of life was getting in the way, and we weren't able to. But then she got pregnant, and then the baby, and she didn't want to take the baby camping. It was like a whole thing. So I liked it, but it was really more her thing. And then the stress over her trying to make a decision on buying this car, like she kept bringing up the whole camping thing, how like I would rather go to Disney World, and I would. I mean, that's my favorite place to go for vacation. And so I don't plan the camping trips, and camping's her thing. I just assumed if she wanted to go, she'd plan it, and then she always used our youngest daughter as an excuse. And then every time she had like vacation time from the Navy, she would take leave, and then we'd go to her relatives. So we're going to her aunt's house, her parents' house, like we're going all these places, and I'm like, you're using up your vacation to do that. Let's just go camping. So then I just started planning this camping trip, and then like I'm just hoping my daughter loves it because I spent so much my money on stupid camping gear and gadgets and all that stuff to try to give her the best experience. But I just know she's an indoor cat like me, and she loves to watch movies, and so we're going to be watching movies while camping. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, so I did that. But yeah, this Jackie Brown or this black exploitation set. I do have Jackie Brown, and I think that's it out of all these sets. And so like I did want to pick this up, but like I said, it's gonna have to wait a little bit. But I did grab this. Let's see, Jackie Chan. Yeah. I don't know why when you type Jackie Chan War Games comes up. Did he produce it or something? Or was he like I don't know. Let's see, volume one. Yeah. So I did pick this one up. It comes with quite a few movies. So we got the Killer Meteors, Shaolin Wooden Men, To Kill the Intrigue, Snake and Crane, Arts of the Shaolin. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Dragon Fist, Battle Creek. And then when I looked at the other ones, so the Criterion version, it didn't seem like there was any crossovers. And so I was going to be getting doubles. So I'll be grabbing that Criterion when I go Barnes and Noble shopping next week. So yeah, so I did pick that one up. So yeah, Shout, solid sale price, the Prime Day. That's all I picked up for the Prime Day sale because I on there it was like $90, but on Prime it was like 60. Video Pro, I'll let you know. It's got Sheriff Brody, and so it has to be good. I believe you. Believe it has to be good now. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. Good morning, Blockbuster Box Sets. Good morning, brother. Let's see. Oh, I got it. Oh man, I feel weird about that, but I was like, I gotta. I'll DM you at some point. I gotta. I had a question. I wanted to ask you a question. It wasn't like I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn how to do what you do, but like, would like to. I would like you to make a box, but I don't know if if you're super busy or whatever. You don't have to. I just there's like I'm a huge fan of Leon the Professional and The Fifth Element, and there's like a couple. I got like a bunch of these because I'm collecting every single version of the movies, and so like there's like some DVDs, and they're just DVDs, but they're from different countries and stuff. And so I was like, I thought it would be cool to have like one of your Blockbuster box sets, specifically for that. But I also understand that it would be pretty much for me because nobody else is really doing what I'm doing, collecting every single version of those movies. But yeah, so I was just curious about that, but I'll hit you up at some point. Where'd you get the Ewok? Many years ago, it was given to me by my sister-in-law, and it was a candy bowl thing that I think they were doing it at Walmart or whatever because they had the Ewok, which makes sense for that size, but then they had Yoda, which also makes sense for that size. But I think then they had Vader, or they had like another character, might have been a stormtrooper, and then it looked like a midget. It was squished down, all the proportions were odd. But Wicked over there, it used to hold a candy bowl, but it was like it came with this like cheap plastic candy bowl, and then it's just foam. It's like this like hollowed out foam piece that just sits on the floor. And so then when you put the candy in it, it would kind of tip over. And so then I had to put like heavy stuff in the bottom. So it didn't work out. And then I've just had him lying around. So now he just holds my CED on the floor. And so that was that. And so I don't think you can get him anymore. Like, we're talking like 10 years ago. I got it. And then I remember seeing him. I think I saw him at Walmart. But yeah, I've never seen anything like that since. We got that. And then what was the other one? Oh, so let's see. I think we're going to go to Criterion today, but let's see. MVD was having a sale, and that's something that nobody really ever, talks about too often. MVD Blu-ray. But I have a few of the MVD titles. Why are we not going there? Let's see. MVD Blu-ray. All right, let's see. Yeah, the MVD Rewind collection. So I didn't really want to talk about sales because everyone else is talking about sales, but I did want to hit up the MVD Shop MVD site because it's something that it gets mentioned enough, but it's one of those things that I don't think it's mentioned all the time. And so this is something that I was super into uh, for a while, and I've got quite a few of the MVD stuff, but they have a lot of the partner labels, just like Vinegar Syndrome does. They have partner labels, and there was somebody sent me, and I forget who it was, but somebody sent me a review copy of something, and I don't remember the label, but then it came from Shop MVD, so it was like one of their partner label stuff, and so they have all kinds of some of those schlocky films, this 1982. That's something I've been wanting to pick up, so I might pick that up for this sale. Any of the Van Damme stuff, Ghoulies 2, I don't have. So there's some cool stuff. Cutting Class, I do have, and that's a great. Oh, that's the DVD though. It's 12.50. The Blu-ray and the 4K are out. So the 4K is $34, but the Blu-ray is only 21.20. And I think the Blu-ray is the 4K has the 4K transfer, but it's on a Blu-ray disc. But either way, that's a fun one. That was one of Brad Pitt's early roles, maybe his first role, and it's an interesting slasher film, early slasher. I really enjoyed that one from the '80s. Um, Joysticks. Now here's an interesting one. So this Joysticks film, I love the movie poster. The movie is not that great, but it's fun. It's like one of those like raunchy comedies, like in the vein of Porky's and Nerds, but like not quite as good. But this is a movie that it was like one of the first times I had ever heard about out of print and the out of print titles and like stuff being crazy priced. It was Joysticks. The Blu-ray was just hard to find, and it was just a very expensive thing on eBay. And then it was one of those things where people were like coveting this Blu-ray, and it was the first time I had ever experienced that because I had always bought my movies in the store, like brick and mortar stores, and I was very new to ordering things online because like it was before things were starting to be phased out, so you could still go to Best Buy every single Tuesday and buy movies, and so just to hear about this out of print, that was a new concept to me too. I mean, I obviously understood that things got sold out before, but the whole idea that it was out of print and then it was like a couple $100s on eBay, and I'm like, who's going to spend a couple $100s on movies? But then I have a couple things over there that were way more than that. So like I've definitely changed my mentality on that. But yeah, when I first heard about that, I was just like, that is wild. But I think the movie poster is a million times better than the movie for sure. So yeah, definitely check out the MVD site if you haven't got anything from here. A lot of great titles, a lot of great Saturday afternoon films. But then you have like classics like Men at Work. This was on TV back in the day all the time. Jack Frost. I like the first one. I've never seen the second one. Ski Patrol is a classic. At Close Range is really good. Christopher Walken, Sean Penn. Those are some solid films. Disturbing Behaviors, a good one from the '90s. Miami Blues. I think this is one. I just saw this. I think this is one I saw just a few months ago. And so I think this is the one where Alec Baldwin is like a criminal, but then he like somehow gets a police badge and he's acting like a police officer, but he's a criminal. And that was enjoyable enough. It was an interesting film. And for 17 bucks, I think I'm going to pick that up. Um, for most people, I think it would be a one and done, but I want to check that out. And this Liar's Moon has been on my radar for a very long time. Jack Frost, as a high recommend. It's a slasher film with a snowman. It is comical. It is not meant to be taken seriously. The snowman is like in this big giant suit. It's ridiculous. I absolutely love it. Yeah, and you have a lot more schlocky stuff. Now, this is one that I tried to give it a shot. and I thought it was going to be great. I just couldn't get into it. So Rutger Hauer, Split Second, this sci-fi dystopian future kind of thing. Yeah, I was like maybe a few minutes into it. He goes into this nightclub, and then there's this killer on the loose. He's trying to track down the killer, and like basically in his vicinity, like he's on the phone, and in the bathroom, a girl gets killed. And so like it's one of those. But I couldn't get into it, but I thought it was going to be really cool. I liked the artwork on there, but yeah, that's one I didn't get into. But yeah, definitely check that out. Double Dragon, love that. Just a classic, fun 90s film. Lionheart's great. Swamp Thing is great. Return of Swamp Thing is even better. I think it leans more into the comedy, but the original Swamp Thing was done by Wes Craven, I believe. And I'm a huge fan of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Return of the Killer Tomatoes. So those are two I highly recommend. Again, Saturday afternoon schlock. The tomatoes are eating people, killing people. So it's you know what you're getting into. It's over the top, silly, ridiculous movie. So yeah, don't forget to get MVD during these sales. Ribinator, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Oh, somebody else hit the everyone, but Blockbuster box set. I don't think he knew. You got the everyone there that I saw. So we'll get this. It's been we've been streaming for over an hour now, and nobody.
Bring me everyone. What do you mean everyone?
Yes, everyone. Yeah, I love that. All right, let's see chat. Yeah, we got that. And then that shout. What else was on my thumbnail? I forget. Shout, Umbrella, Kino, and Criterion. So yeah, there's I already said what I was going to get from Criterion, so I'm not going to bother trying to go to that site in case the thing's going to crash. But I did want to hit up Kino, and again, the focus isn't the sales. The focus isn't the sales. I was trying to find the new stuff. Kino Lorber. Oh, I was trying to take. Let's see, Kino Lorber. Kino. So here's this one. I don't know if you guys have been, if anybody has picked up anything from these sales. Let me know what you picked up. But I have not as of yet. I have a huge cart. I have like $300 sitting in the Kino Lorber cart, and I'm not going to spend that. I'm gonna whittle that down. I'm probably gonna try to whittle that down to like 50 or 60 bucks. But let's see, shop. Let's see. Here we go. New releases. So yeah, definitely check out the sale on your own time. But we're gonna check out the new releases today and see what they have from Kino Lorber. Because like I said, I've been kind of like a slave to Blu-ray.com and Amazon, and it's just been easy and convenient. But actually going to the website, seeing what's available, seeing what I've missed. Let's see. Oh, blank. No new releases. Yeah, I came over here. I clicked new releases. They have nothing. I guess they're just focused on that sale, I guess. Well, I guess that we might as well just check out the sale. Now, there's quite a few things here that I would pick up anyway. A lot of things that I was interested in. Lots of blind buys. I always do. Kino Lorber is one I do more blind buys than anything, especially during these sales. And they say shop titles as low as $4.99, but pretty much everything I was looking at was about $10. So either way, a $10 Blu-ray, I don't think is a bad price. They do fair shipping, I think. Not a big deal there. We have a lot of older titles. A lot of stuff I'm kind of skipping. Some of these Bob Hope films I might check out. I've watched 2 Bob Hope films now, and I really enjoyed them. I thought they were great. I own one. I forget the name of the title. Oh boy, did I get the wrong number is the one I have. And then the other one was with Six on the Lamb or something. So that one is basically he finds a bunch of money in the parking lot. He works for the bank, but then somebody is stealing money from the bank, but then they blame it on him. So then he's going to get arrested. So then he packs up his kids and then they go on a road trip because he just bought a brand new car with the money he found. And to try to figure it out so he doesn't go to jail and figure it out and what's really happening. But that was fun. That was fun enough. So looking for me personally, I'm looking for more Bob Hope films. But then there was like a couple of them that just they looked a little too silly for me, not for me. But in here, American Ninja, solid film. This one here, Alien Outlaw. I had fun with the film, but I think the movie poster is a million times better than the film is. I enjoyed that one. American Ninja 2, I don't think go wrong. Where we have, let's see. Barbarians. I don't know if I'm going to pick that one up, but it looks fun. I have not seen it, but watching the trailer, it looks good enough. Like a nice Saturday afternoon film, nice blind buy. And again, for $10, I don't feel bad because if I don't like it, I know I could, find a good home for it. I think. This one here, I've always been interested in it, Taft, and I had the DVD for a while, but I got about halfway through it and I got bored. You got Kurt Russell, you got Robin Williams. I don't think those two alone. I don't think that I would have gotten bored, but I couldn't get through the movie. I got halfway through it and then that was it. So I love the poster, love the cast. But it's just not for me. I might give it another shot at some point, but it just didn't work out. But this one here, The Big Bus, got a huge cast of characters. Love the movie poster. I'm going to blind buy that one personally. I highly recommend Bird on a Wire with Mel Gibson, Goldie Hawn. That's one of my all-time favorites. And this was a day one purchase. As soon as this Kino Lorber came out, I've had this. I've had this for a while. I feel for sure. Black Sheep, great film. That Blu-ray, if you have the Blu-ray, I think it's pretty solid. They did a 2K scan from that, and it looks pretty solid. But the 4K is going to be a slight uptick, I would assume. We have that. Blue Collar was pretty good. You got a great cast: Harvey Keitel, Richard Pryor. But this is a super serious film. Blue collar workers working during crappy times, need more money, working in the car factory, and it's not for everybody. But I enjoyed it. I like those. I like those slower burn films. I don't always need action and all that type of stuff. Because lately, my kid has been getting into action films, and I'm just like, give me something slow paced for sure. Brain Donors. I've been looking forward to this one. A lot of people highly recommend it. I've never seen it, so for $10, I'm going to be picking that up. Those Charles Bronson films, I might just pick them up based on the artwork. The Brinks Job. It's a heist film. They break into Brinks and steal the money. So it's a good one. I think it's a '70s film. Really enjoy that one. But you got a great cast: Peter Boyle, but then Peter Falk, or um, let's see who else is in this. You got Peter Falk, Peter Boyle, Alan Gorowitz, Warren Oates, Gina Rollins, and Paul Sorvino. I love the artwork on that, but I thought that was a really fun movie. High recommend. But again, it's not for everybody. It's a heist film. I'm a sucker for heist films. Career Opportunities. That's a really fun one. Um, you can't go wrong with Jennifer Connelly in that. And the her riding the mechanical horse that's been memed to death. I've seen that all over Twitter, but it comes from that movie specifically. And that, again, I think it's a really fun one. Yeah, high recommend. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to pick up any of these ones. This one, high recommend. Comedy of Terrors, I think is one of the funniest films I've ever seen. You have Vincent Price, and you have so many classic horror characters. You got Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff, Basil Rathbone, and it is a great, great film, but the entire thing is a comedy. And so you have Vincent Price's character marries an undertaker's daughter, and then he becomes an undertaker, but nobody's dying. And they're like reusing caskets. Like in the beginning of the movie, they're burying somebody, and as soon as everybody leaves, they dig up the casket, dump the body, and they take the cat. They're just reusing that same casket. Uh, they definitely are trying to do everything they can do to save a buck, but then they realize that if they kill somebody, they'll just maintain their business. And it's just I really enjoy that one. That one I die laughing every single time. And the only thing that I never appreciated about this film, and I don't know if it's just like the way they did the audio for this Blu-ray and my surround sound, I don't know what it is, but because I know it's played for laughs, but there's a scene in it where the girl, and I forget who it was, Joyce Jameson or Beverly Powers, it was one of those girls. She sings this really high pitched note, like those notes where like women are supposed to sing and then glass breaks kind of thing. So she does that, and it's played for laughs, but it's like extremely annoying through my surround sound. And so like every time I watch this now, I do put it on my just I turn the surround sound off and I just watch it on the TV. But other than that, I think it's probably one of the funniest films I've ever seen. High recommend. High recommend. Um, DC Cab, another fun one. Great movie poster. High recommend. $10. Let's see. And that's I mean you can definitely check that out on your own. But yeah, there's all kinds of sales going on, all kinds of you know labels have stuff going on, but I highly recommend checking them out. I know me personally, like I said, I've been kind of slacking and just it's just been easy and convenient. Just now I bought the movie Cobra instead of going to Arrow where I probably have points in the cart that I could have used. Um, I just did it on Amazon because it was super quick and fast. Or quick and fast do the same thing. It was super quick and convenient. So yeah, it's just one of those things where trying to force myself to go to the actual website, see what's available, see what I'm missing, and not get all caught up in the FOMO. Because like there's certain movies that people get excited for, and it's the newest, the latest, and greatest. And then before I know it, I'm adding it to my cart, and I'm like, did I really want that? But as I scroll through those, I found probably. I mean, there's a dozen films that I own, but then there's probably like another half a dozen films that I would just blind buy and check out and be willing to check out. So for sure. Have you watched Sisu? I picked it up during Prime Day. Cool movie. Yeah, it was a high recommend from somebody that's not a movie guy. And so, like, out of spite, I was just joking that I was never going to watch it. And so I actually want to watch it. And I never picked it up because we were just breaking each other's balls back and forth about this movie. So yeah, it's one that I want to watch, but I just haven't. And then it's not in front of my face. I don't see it. It used to, at the time we were talking about it, it was always on the Walmart shelves, and so every time I go grocery shopping, it'd be there. Um, so yeah, I'll probably pick it up soon. I hear it's real good. Let's see. During Prime Day, I picked up 4K versions of Anchorman, Fatal Attraction, and The Invisible Man 2020, and Coming to America. Coming to America 4K is top notch. I really enjoy that. Uh, Great nostalgia. Love that film. I grew up watching that film. My kid's been watching that film. She freaking loves it. She thinks Eddie Murphy is the greatest because like at the end when they do the credits and like she realized that he played all those different characters and so did Arsenio Hall. She thinks that's the greatest. Yeah, great pickups, great pickups there. Although like Anchorman, I don't own Anchorman. I think it's fine. Like I watched it. It's just not for me. I know it's not for me. But glad you enjoy it. Glad you picked it up. But other than that, I would say the rest are pretty solid pickups. I like the Invisible Man. I like that newer Invisible Man. I don't hate it, like I hate some of the other ones, some of the newer modern ones. But I did enjoy the Kevin Bacon Invisible Man. I thought that was a pretty solid one that almost never gets talked about. But that newer one I thought was pretty good too. The price was right, brother. I get it. I get it. Sometimes they happen. There are plenty of movies in my collection not that I hated, but like I thought were fine and I never needed. And then it was like $5 or $10. And I'm like, can't pass it up now. And so it's great to have in the collection at the price point. So I totally get it. Cause like I'll watch it, you know, if it's here, I'll watch it. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I did plan on talking about a few other things, but we sidetracked today, got on some tangents. It's been running for about an hour and a half. It is horribly hot in here, and I gotta get out of here. So love hanging out with you guys as always. Next week we're gonna be doing the giveaway. So there's that. And still there's an unclaimed mug from the bearded film guy. So if anybody is in contact with him, let him know. He just has to message me or DM me, and I'll just send him the link. So I don't know how to get a hold of him. But other than that, remember to watch a movie today, and I'll catch. Oh, we got something. Oh, ha, have a good one, everyone. Cheers. Yeah, have a good one. Yeah, no, thanks for hanging out, everybody. And like I said, remember to watch a movie today, and I'll catch you guys next time.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Oh, don't give me a cat. That's fine.